The Donut Shop. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young girl named Laura. She and her mother, Elena, shared a tiny weathered house at the edge of the town. Their lives had been difficult ever since Laura's father passed away when she was just a child. Elena, determined to provide for her daughter, worked tirelessly as a vegetable vendor at the town's bustling market. Every morning before dawn, she would gather the freshest produce and spend her day selling to the townsfolk. Despite her hard work, the money she earned was barely enough to make ends meet. Laura, now a teenager, often watched her mother return home exhausted. Her heart ached to see her mother struggle. "Mama, you work too hard," Laura would say, but Eleanor would always smile and respond, "As long as we have each other, we'll find a way." But Laura wanted to do more than just watch. She wanted to help. Laura had a special talent. She could make the most delicious donuts. It was a skill she'd learned from her grandmother, who would make them on special occasions. Soft, golden, and sprinkled with sugar or drizzled with chocolate, her donuts were always a hit with neighbors and friends. One evening, as her mother sat counting her day's meager earnings, Laura spoke up. "Mama, I've been thinking. What if I start selling donuts? I can use a small amount from your savings to buy the ingredients and set up a little stall." Elena looked at her daughter with both pride and concern. "Laura, it's a wonderful idea, but savings are all we have. What if it doesn't work?" "It will work," Laura said confidently. "I'll make it work. Please, Mama, trust me." Touched by her daughter's confidence, Elena finally agreed. "All right, my dear. Let's give it a try." The next morning, Laura woke up early, her heart brimming with excitement and nervousness. Using her mother's savings, she bought flour, sugar, oil, and other essentials. She worked tirelessly, frying her donuts to perfection. By the time the market opened, she had set up a small stall next to her mother's vegetable stand. At first, no one stopped. The market was busy and people were focused on their usual routines. Laura felt a pang of doubt. "Maybe I was wrong," she thought. Just then, a kind old man named Mr. Gregor, a long-time customer of Elena's, approached the stall. "What are these, young lady?" he asked. "They're donuts, sir. Would you like to try one?" Laura replied nervously. Mr. Gregor bought one and took a bite. His eyes lit up. "These are heavenly. Everyone, you must try these donuts," he exclaimed, waving to the nearby crowd. Slowly, people began to gather around. One by one, they bought her donuts, and by the end of the day, Laura had sold out. But success didn't come without challenges. Some days it rained heavily, and the market was empty. Other days, competitors tried to undercut her prices. Yet, Laura persisted, reminding herself why she started. One particularly hard day, when sales were low, Laura's mother held her hands and said, "Don't give up, my girl. Hard times don't last forever, but strong people do." Encouraged by her mother's words, Laura pushed on. Months turned into years, and Laura's small stall grew into a cozy shop. She decorated it with bright colors and filled it with the aroma of freshly baked donuts. Her menu expanded to include filled donuts, glazed treats, and even savory options. One day, a journalist named Clara visited her shop. Clara was intrigued by the story of a young girl who turned a small idea into a thriving business. She wrote an article about Laura, which brought even more customers and opportunities. With her growing income, Laura was able to provide her mother with a more comfortable life. She saved money for her education and even started teaching baking workshops to other young people in the community. Laura's journey became an inspiration for many. When asked about her secret to success, she would smile and say, "It all starts with a dream and the courage to make it happen." One day, a little girl came to her shop, watching her work with wide, curious eyes. Laura handed her a warm donut and said, "Never be afraid to follow your dreams, no matter how small they may seem." Laura's story reminds us that even in the face of adversity, determination and hard work can lead to incredible opportunities. Whatever your talent may be, nurture it and share it with the world. And remember, every success story begins with a single brave step forward. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories.